Despite this, many have claimed that Andy had faked his death. Rumors were stating that Andy was considering faking his death and coming back 20 years later, thus referring to it as the ultimate prank. Many of his fans still presume to this day that Andy didn't die, but laid low until the time was right. When the 20th anniversary of his death came in 2004, many people were waiting at his Los Angeles home to see if it was a prank. But he didn't show up. His death was real. Thank you. I'll hand it back to Mr. LoGatto to finish this up. Mr. LoGatto? Anthony? A-Log?
What I just did there is sort of like an example of how Andy would do his own shtick. Like what I did, that was my own voice. That was my own voice coming out of the computer there. I used this as a prop, kind of like an old school radio. Andy, back in his day, would use a phonograph record with a record inside. I basically used myself as a voice and myself as a character. As in, you're hearing me while watching me. I know it's a little bit difficult. I know it's a little bit difficult to comprehend, but it's true. I mean, if Andy did that when he read The Great Gatsby to a room full of college students, why can't I? Anyway, I thank you all for basically listening. Enjoy my little example of Andy Kaufman's work and my performance as well. So, if Andy himself will be here right now, he would say this. Thank you very much.